The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
We are live. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us today. Welcome to Powtoon's latest webinar, How to Use Video Messaging for More Meaningful Meetings. This is so exciting. We're so excited to have everybody joining us here. We all know the pain of a boring meeting. We all know that meetings are a huge part of our lives these days. And so we all just want to dive in and find a way to make them more meaningful and more special. Hey, that's me right there on the left and on the far right. My name is Nick. I'm head of content here at Powtoon. And joining me today is Daniel Nathan, head of customer success, joining us from our London, UK office. Daniel Nathan, are you on the line?
I certainly am. Good afternoon, Nick. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to everyone, wherever you are in the world. Hope you're all safe and well.
Indeed. And speaking of that, hey, everyone joining us from wherever you are in the world, type right in that questions box. Let us know your name, where you're joining us from, and what is your biggest obstacle to having meaningful meetings. Let us know right there in the questions box. That also helps us know that you are seeing the screen and hearing us talk and all of that good stuff. So go ahead and just type that in when you get a chance. We don't want to waste a moment of time here today because we are going through so much valuable stuff here. Here's what we're going to be covering. Are you ready for this, Dan Nathan? Number one, the biggest obstacle between you and meaningful meetings, right? So chime in that questions box. Let us know what is your biggest obstacle between having meaningful meetings and not. Two, how to leverage video messaging with colleagues and clients. We'll tell you exactly what we're talking about. And finally, three, time-saving video messaging tips for before, during, and after your meeting. So actionable things that you can put into practice as soon as this webinar is over. But first, meetings can be painful, right? We know that. Everybody who's been chiming in here, we've got Nerdine from the Netherlands. We've got Jill from St. John who says, looking to have better solutions besides death by PowerPoint. Oh, I know that pain. Dan, Nathan, what are some of the things that drive you nuts about a meeting?
Wow, things that for meetings, things like all the ambient noises, especially when we're online, when you're virtual, whether it's GoToWebinar, Hangouts, Teams, Zoom. It's those ambient noises. It's the kids running around. It's the dogs barking. It makes it difficult for you to focus. It makes it difficult for you to retain information when you're trying to push dogs away, when you're trying to clear up the kids' food.
Exactly.
So yeah, we need a better way to make meetings more impactful.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Also, Mitch from Atlanta, no focus, too much info to remember, right? It's like your meetings start to blur together. I don't know about everybody else on the call today. When, Corona hit and we went remote at Powtoon, it's like all of a sudden my whole day was back to back, Google Meet video calls and Zoom calls. And it's like they all just start to blend together. Sabrina is writing in and she says the biggest obstacle, engagement, especially in the virtual world of Teams meetings. Absolutely. I know that's definitely something we hear, not just here on this webinar, we hear that from clients across the spectrum. Melissa is joining us. She wants better engagement. Maggie from the UK would like meetings that are consistent and can be viewed at any time in any location. I mean, I think that you guys, and also Lewis here from Tucson, Arizona, my biggest obstacle is encouraging teams to participate fully, right? We're talking about engagement. We're talking about being able to actually retain the most important information. It's not just, and we've so many other people here are telling me, sorry, Melissa in Florida, welcome. Victoria, video lagging for video calls, right? That can also be an issue. You're at the mercy of everyone's internet connection. And I know that I've been, you can spend all this time, can you see my screen? Are you sharing? And someone freezes. It can be a nightmare. But not only is this something we're all intuitively experiencing, right? It's backed up by data. This is a study Microsoft did with Microsoft Teams users over the last year. And this is what they found starting from February 2020, right before the outbreak of COVID-19. They found between then and now Meetings have increased 148%, right? Weekly meeting time has more than doubled for Teams users and is still rising, right? That trend, except for we had a little bit of a reprieve here right at the new year, but that is up and running and on the climb. 40.6 billion emails, 45% increase in chat, 66% increase in docs you got to deal with. So the fact of the matter is meetings are taking up more of our time. They need to be meaningful so that people can be engaged, like you all were saying, like so that people can retain the most important information, and we can overcome all of those problems that come up with noises in the background or people being distracted, not having a visual baseline to connected to, right? So what is video messaging? What am I talking about? And we'll get into why is it valuable. So I just want to show you a very short video to explain the solution we here at Powtoon have come up with for this particular problem. Now, just one moment. Let me pull this up.
Meet Powtoon Capture, your free video messaging tool. Simply record your screen, webcam, or both, and share your video message anywhere in just a click. Want more? Take your video message to the next level. Customize it with your company logo, add text, visuals, and music for a professional look and feel that took you just minutes to make. Sign up and get Capture for free.
That is an introduction to Powtoon Capture. It's a video messaging tool, and it's a Google Chrome extension that you can use to present like I'm doing right now, or you can use it to record your screen, your camera, or both, and then you can enhance those recordings in the Powtoon studio. Dan Nathan, I got a question. How can video messaging help you make meetings more meaningful with colleagues and clients? I'm going to have the meeting. What's the message about? Why do I need to send that? These are all, and I'm sure everyone in the audience today, actually right now, can guess what is valuable about having short videos you can make yourself, face to camera, that truly engage your audience, and to be able to make them for specific moments, for specific purposes, to help encourage the meetings to continue to be meaningful, right? So that the meeting attendees know what their next steps are, etc. We've got for you today 3 sections of tips for everyone. What to do with your video messaging before meetings so that they're as meaningful as possible. What to do with your video messaging during meetings, and what to do after meetings. We're just going to, yes, sir, Dan Nathan.
We have a question actually coming in from Diane.
Yes.
Diane Darling is asking about the tool you are currently using. Is that a competitor to Loom? I just want to figure out what tools I need for what.
Sure.
So I think that's going to be revealed very soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say Powtoon Capture it's like Loom in some ways, but what it has that Loom doesn't is it's connected to the Powtoon Studio, right? Which unlocks all of that video creation and visual communication power that exists already in Powtoon, and you can apply it to these quick messages and use it in these contexts to be sure that you're getting the most out of meetings before, during, and after. Let's dive right in here to before meetings, right? The beauty of providing some well-placed video messaging before a meeting is to offer context in advance, right? You can use it to invite people to an upcoming event, that personal invitation. An email invite might get lost. Another calendar invite, they all look the same. What are you going to do to make this meeting stand out, to tell your audience, your meeting members, people on your team, whoever's going to be there, why this is important, what's in it for them? Share agenda or relevant background info, right? You don't want to have to spend the whole beginning of the meeting recapping important stuff. You want people to come prepared, and this is an easy way to get that information into the hands and into the eyeballs of your team before you have your meeting. Brief your team on a project or objectives, right? In addition to talking about what you're going to talk about in this meeting, perhaps the meeting is to talk about an initiative you're working on together. Perhaps you want to send an overview or an informal brief about that entire initiative before you begin the meeting. Again, just to give full context in advance. Finally, addressing frequently asked questions. This is the kind of thing, again, that can make a meeting unbearable, can make it drag on, answering questions that people already should know the answers to, that maybe you've even already answered in that meeting. I actually have an example here. This is from our team at Powtoon. My colleague Sapir made this to invite our colleagues internally to this webinar and has some extra tips for them about how they can help spread the word. So just a moment while this capture loads up.
Hi guys, I just want to invite you to our live webinar this Wednesday on video messaging for meaningful meetings. If you want to save your spot, just hit on register now on this URL. And don't forget to update your email signatures so that we can really expand our reach. And I hope to see you guys there.
As you can see, so simple, such a clear example. It took her just a few moments to make. Record her screen, just encourage everyone to come, remind them about our specialized email signatures that just help expand our reach. And that way everyone, they know what's in it for them and they know how they can help be successful. Okay, let's talk about during the meetings. First of all, you can set the context, right, with clips from a previous video message. So perhaps, yes, you want to provide that ahead of time, but maybe you can take the most important clips to just set that context right at the beginning. Show your face alongside your presentation. This is actually something, right, that I'm doing right here. And I'm doing it with Powtoon Capture in present mode. As you can see on the screen right now, these are the settings for Powtoon Capture. And present mode allows you to put yourself in between your material and your audience, so you don't lose that personal connection when you go to share your screen, right? Also, of course, all of the controls for recording. And we can get into some more of that in the Q&A section, but I just wanted to mention present mode. This is how you would use it in a presentation, and to show just what the difference is, because I hear already, I've all spoken with clients and talked to folks on social media, et cetera, about the value of this. And sometimes it's not totally clear right away, but I just want to show you an image. This is what it looks like in like a Google Meet, right? But this is how it looks when you're using capture and present mode. It is just so much more integrated. And again, you can put your face right there in the action, a part of the message, right, to really help encourage a personal connection. Review input from colleagues who can't be there. And also to interrupt dull moments and recapture attention, which is something people have been using Powtoon to do for years, right? To take a moment, a dull moment in a presentation and recapture attention, reset the mood of the room with a short video that gets you focused on what's coming next. You can do the same thing with a capture that you're making. I have an example here actually from a colleague of ours who could not join us today. But someone that we all hold very near and dear to our heart. Our chief executive unicorn, Ilya Spitalnik, provided. I was really hoping he could join us tonight to share his tips, his top tip for meaningful meetings. Well, guess what? Even though he couldn't make it, he's here with a capture.
Hi there, this is Ilya, Powtoon's chief executive unicorn, and I've been asked by my awesome team to share my best tip for a meaningful meeting. It's a really easy one for me because I have 3 fail-safe steps for a great meeting. Okay, step number 1 is you have to ensure that the right people are in the room. Let me just move myself out of the way. You have to ensure that the right people are in the room. That's the step number 1. Step number 2 is everyone in the room needs to understand why they are there, number 1. Number 2, what we as a collective are working on and what we want to achieve. The goals, they need to be set in that meeting. And everybody needs to know that. And number 3 is there needs to be a visual baseline. You see, a picture tells 1,000 words. You need to have a visual baseline if you want to succeed. Okay, guys? Now, good luck and go and do it for yourselves.
Beautiful. Switching back here. You can see how valuable that can be to bring insights from someone who would love to be there, maybe can't make it for whatever reason, but they have valuable and relevant insight to share with everyone who's in the meeting. What to do after the meeting.
Hey everyone, it was great meeting today as always. Just want to remind you guys that Ops team, you guys are going to generate the email report and provide a video summary by Wednesday. And creative, we're really looking forward to the storyboards for our next project, and you guys will have that ready for our team to review by Thursday. And if anyone has any questions, I'm here. You guys can find the full project brief on our shared drive, but I'm here in case of anything. So let me know. Thanks, everyone.
First of all, of course, meeting summary for anyone who missed. Follow up with action items and deadlines, right? This is so important. It's, you can sit in a meeting and go, okay, yeah, we got to do that. Make a little checklist. It's on a piece of paper. Maybe it gets put into the task management software you're using, or maybe someone else is supposed to make a ticket, or who knows what your process is. It's always good to just have one person whose job it is to be sure that everyone's got their marching orders, right? What are their action items and what are the deadlines? Celebrate project milestones as they happen. If your meeting is to kick off a big project and everyone's working real hard to reach those project milestones, take a moment as that process plays out to celebrate those milestones. Make a video, share it with your team to celebrate all the accomplishments you've made even before you're done with the final tasks, right? And then my favorite, because of course this closes the loop and turns one meeting, another meeting into a series, a conversation happening over time, personal invites to your next meeting. So the follow-up from this meeting becomes the personal invite to the next meeting. Those are our crash course in tips about how to leverage video messaging to make your meetings more valuable. We've got time for question and answer right now. I think I'm going to hand the presentation actually over to my colleague, Daniel Nathan. How do I do that? Click over here, change presenter.
Great, some great information there, Nick. Thank you so much. We do indeed have a few questions coming in. One of the questions we have is from Maggie Sheen. Maggie is asking us, she'd like to put another colleague of hers into the Capture Presenter circle, perhaps the circle that I'm presenting in now. However, she doesn't have access to the video capture software. Well, the good news is, Maggie, that the Powtoon Capture extension is a free Google Chrome extension. Okay, so it's very, I'm in Google Chrome here. You just simply need to Google Chrome Store. There we go. Head over to Google Chrome Store, and depending on the type of account you have with Powtoon, simply type in for Powtoon Capture, and I think this is a business audience, so Powtoon Capture Business,
yep.
And it's there. You download it, you add it to your browser, I guess, there, and it's available for you to use there as you need it. So and then all your friend would need to do, or your colleague would need to do, Maggie, is record the capture, and then she can collaborate that capture with you, so you have access to it. It'll be inside your account, and you can then use that inside your Powtoons. So Diane is asking us also. Sorry, Nick.
No, I was just going to jump in. I just wanted to, I showed it briefly earlier, but could you just show us the controls there for Powtoon Capture once you've got the Chrome extension installed? You've got our Powtoon logo up there. And what happens when
no problem at all. So when you click on the Capture extension, you're then given with an option here to record or present. What Nick and I have just been doing is presenting. The present mode, by the way, is perfect for these type of things, perfect for video calls when we don't actually need to record the screen, but I want to engage with my audience. It's so much nicer, isn't it, for you to have a face to look at? Maybe not this face, but
it's a beautiful face
to look at.
It's a beautiful face.
Whatever. To have a face to look at when someone's speaking, when someone's showcasing something on their screen, it just helps to engage with your audience that much more. So that's what the presenter mode is, but the really powerful element here of capture is the record mode. So here you have the option to record your screen, your camera, your screen only, just the camera, perhaps, if that's what you're looking for. You can do that using Powtoon. And then what you can do is you can then change the shape of the capture as you need, and then simply record it. And when you're happy and when you're ready to record, it'll then find its way, once it's recorded, into your My Recordings folder. Looks like I have a small internet issue here, but into your My Recordings folder, which will be available for you to then upload into your Powtoon and edit it, add in all your overlays, music, videos, whatever it is you want to do.
Indeed. In fact, that video that we saw from our colleague Sapir included that the mouse that she had clicking over the background, and the image that she showed of our email signature with the special CTA for this webinar. That was something that she did simply by, using the capture here in the studio, clicking images and uploading an image for the image of the email footer, and in props, she would have found that mouse clicker pointer in there. And so those are the places she would have found those.
Absolutely.
All right. Let's see here. Let's see. Touch on a narrative book. Later. Just looking to see if we've got any other questions that came in here. Excellent. Well, I just want to then continue, just briefly remind everyone that they'll receive via email in the next 24 hours a video replay on demand of this webinar. So you can watch it whenever you want to refresh yourself on these tips. You can share it with colleagues and let them know exactly how they can get more out of their meetings with video messaging and with Powtoon capture. And of course, as Dan Nathan showed us, go to the Google Chrome store and download the Powtoon Capture Chrome extension. Start having more meaningful meetings. Record your screen, enhance it in the Powtoon Studio, or include yourself live with present mode. It's so simple, easy to use. In fact, dare I say, fun, and it really, really adds value at every turn. And I want to thank my co-host Dan Nathan. I want to thank my colleagues who shared captures with us, and I want to thank all of you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us today. Whatever you need to communicate in this world, remember to communicate visually with Powtoon's visual communication platform. Have a great day, everybody.